everybody. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. This is the Jagged Edge. It's episode 95 for us. It's Ian here along with Chris.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Knocking this one down a little later than we normally would, but nonetheless, that doesn't stop the news cycle.
They don't know that.
They don't know that. It doesn't matter, but I had to at least say it. It's Star Wars Day.
It was Star Wars Celebration. It is not actually Star Wars Day, though, sir. That is May the 4th.
True. Is that technically how it's
I do believe they passed a bill on that sometime in the last few years through the Senate, and of course we're waiting for the House to sign it. But I think it's about as officially unofficial as it gets.
Cool.
It is May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day.
Gotcha.
But you do not get your day off of work. You still have to go to school.
Yep.
But you have to take a lightsaber. That's the rule.
So,
or a blaster, or a droid.
All three of those options are pretty cool, though.
And you cannot force choke any of your enemies.
Dang it.
Right. I know. It's like, so that's why it's not official. Because otherwise, can you imagine the kind of celebrating for Star Wars Day if that was the official holiday? Yeah, be careful there. It'll be next to purging.
Asphyxiation kills would go up like 500%. I don't know.
Whole moons destroyed.
Stay tuned for next time.
Childhood heroes reduced to drinking sea monster milk and acting like old hermits till they die.
Oh yeah, where did that happen? Yeah.
Nowhere good.
Nowhere
good.
But hey, here's a chance for some redemption. One of the biggest things that we got here is the Star Wars trailer for Episode 9. It's dropped. The title as well, Rise of the Skywalker. Sort of a big deal.
Well, we started getting it this week. But yeah, we'll talk about the other two trailers after, since we're already on this one. That trailer came out, Rise of the Skywalker. We've talked about this. The first movie I ever went to see in the theaters was Return of the Jedi when it was released in '83. We've addressed the Star Wars stuff over the last year and a half now, pretty much. And the 1-2 kick in the nuts that Star Wars took at the end of 2017 with Battlefront 2 and The Last Jedi. It's been a year and a half, and then Solo, which dropped with not even a quiet thud, just kind of came in. It just kind of came and went. It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of there. Nobody cared. It was their first flop, which had nothing to do with the movie so much as it had to do with the prior movie that we were just talking about.
Timing.
Yeah. It was people made a point. They made a point, and I guess that's part of this topic is that how much did Lucasfilm learn? How much did they learn? It's if you're, I don't want to re-dissect the whole Star Wars thing. The people who are angry, the people who aren't. We are definitely on the side of we're not real big fans of what you're doing.
Right.
We're definitely on there. We thought Solo was fine. But The Last Jedi is a hunk of shit. It just is. And so now if you remember our conversations leading up to this, I said that the number one thing they could do to get all the fans on board and to show that we're gonna fix things from The Last Jedi was it needed to show in the teaser trailer Luke Skywalker lighting up his lightsaber. Mm-hmm. We didn't get Luke Skywalker, nor did we get him with a lightsaber. We got him in a monologue.
We did.
But that okay. Anyways, at face value, Ian, what did you think of this trailer?
Fun trailer. I think what this is potentially some of the things it's setting up. I'm going to jump all the way sort of the end of it here. Another thing everybody's always looking at here, the Palpatine laugh. I definitely want to know what that's all about. I definitely want to know some more about Rey. I think the title was the thing that hit me most. I was saying this a bit before the show. I'm hoping that we have some sort of extra explanation or something grounded to show like where, how Rey's force sensitivity, where is that coming from? Does it have a basis? Does she have some kind of Jedi lineage? Is that feeding from somewhere? Is that whole thing about Kylo Ren, her parents just being no one, nothing? Is that all junk? Is that all bunk? Is there something else that we're just missing here? I'd appreciate that. I'd love for more there to be on Rey. It's just, I think the precedent they've set in Star Wars for really powerful Jedi over time, there's something deeper behind them. Even if you have a sort of a freak like Anakin, right? Luke Skywalker, we can go on and on, but there's always some kind of underpinning into what made them what they were, whether that was from the start or the stuff that they went through to get there beforehand. So I hope there's a little more to Rey than what we've been getting so far. Really interested in the title, really interested in the ending of that. There's a couple of heart-jerking moments, especially some of I think that was unused footage from Episode 8 with Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, sorry. With Carrie Fisher
right.
and Rey. That's, good stuff. So, no, fun trailer, dude. I'm pretty cool. Excited.
I mean, my feelings towards the Star Wars franchise as a whole are very genuine. I loved the franchise. I want to continue to love the franchise. There's a trust issue, and I think that's where I think that's where my I didn't think it was a very good trailer. I thought seeing Lando was great.
Oh yeah.
The shot of all of them together, ironically minus Lando and minus Leia, was great. You had everybody else in there. The Emperor's laugh at the end was definitely a ooh.
Yeah.
What's that all about for me? The whole thing with Rey at the beginning and what is apparently but not confirmed to be Kylo, that's his TIE fighter. That's his specific. I forget the name of it, but that's his TIE fighter there. And what's about to happen there? I think I think that could have been great. I think the jump thing was cool. Had they at least, if they would have cut it off visually where they did, but at least given the sound of the lightsaber hitting the tie right as it was passing, I think that would have done a lot more for it. Because it certainly looked like she set up to do some kind of upward or upside down slash right through the TIE fighter with the lightsaber. I think that would have been cool to hear that effect. I think they actually kind of ruined that whole thing for themselves there by ending it the way they did. Yeah,
you're not quite there.
I know I'm just not, and I've watched it several times, and I'm just not there. I want it to be great, and everybody thinks that they're going to see Palpatine again, and I guess my question is, how do you know that you haven't already?
Right.
And there's a million and one different theories that you can come up with as far as Palpatine. Is that cool? I think that's good as far as maybe giving Snoke some much needed credibility, and maybe what was behind Snoke, and maybe the fact that it doesn't matter so much that Snoke got killed the way that he did. And I think that could maybe fix that problem. I've had two theories ever since Episode 7 as far as where Rey has come from. The one that I like the most is that she's a Kenobi.
I love that one.
But that is the least likely of the two. My second one, and I've had both these theories since the weekend it came out. My second one is that she is related to the Emperor somehow, and either as a clone or sibling or someone in his family. I mean, because that's Palpatine. He was whoring around. He gave no shits about it. He's probably sleeping with all kinds of nasty chicks and getting some of them pregnant. Or maybe not. Maybe Viagra doesn't exist in the Star Wars universe, and he was having issues.
He had his cushy Senate seat, but he was all about abuse of power.
Oh yeah, he literally had whatever he wanted.
Yeah. So
it's not far fetched at all I think to say that his bloodline continued on. And so those have been my two theories, and we'll see. And I think that might be part of it. I really, if I got to lean on one, if I got to put a bet on one of them, I'm going to say that she's related to the Emperor somehow, and that's been a big part of it. That may also even play into the fact that Kylo's trying to say that your family's no one and nothing. He might be trying to hide the truth from her, or that might actually be his own opinion of that lineage.
Right.
Obviously he's not going to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, your grandfather, he used to control the entire galaxy and was the most he was the most dominant Sith Lord ever." I mean, he's not going to tell her that right there at that moment.
No.
So, I'm not digging it. I'm not. There's been all kinds of rumors going on about this. We have not talked about it too much. We've talked about it every now and then on the show, and that's just because the rumors are ridiculous, and you really don't know the truth. And Ian, I know I've told you the story. I don't know if I've ever told you online, or if I've ever said it on the show.
Right.
But I know I've told you the story about the episode 7 rumors.
Yeah, you did.
I read like 2 years before it came out.
Yep.
And how those were the ones that actually ended up being true.
Yeah.
So, like if it was the first rumors I ever read. I don't know if it was the first rumors to come out about the movie. But those were the ones that ended up being true. I think the only thing they had off was the fact that they said Chewbacca loses an arm, which he doesn't. He gets shot in the arm.
It was close. It's close.
Yeah, but he did. But everything else happened that way. So I don't even pay him too much attention because everything else I read after that was junk or reconfirmed what I'd already read. So I don't pay him too much attention. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah. I'm not in the hater camp, but I'm definitely I'm pretty pissed at Lucasfilm right now camp. And I want this to be great, but this is not the step in the right direction I was looking for them to do in the teaser. But I'm definitely not of the camp I'm just going to hate it no matter what.
Of course.
You ruined my childhood. I'm going to hate you now, SJW.
hashtag. I was going to say, Star Wars, I would hope, as far as just fan reasonability after the years of content we have gotten, it's probably what you thought about Jar Jar Binks and the rest of it, just looking at Star Wars as a whole, like the movies, how well they've done and all that, I would hope that there would be enough goodwill there for fans to say, all right, you know what, Last Jedi, we couldn't really stomach that, but I'll pay my dues, I'll check out Episode 9, I'll see what this is about. So
we'll see, man. I don't know. I mean, we are in unknown territory as far as fans of a certain franchise and in media in general. This has never happened before. Right. I mean, yes, there's been beloved franchises that have pissed off fans before, but not to this scale, not to this caliber. This is unknown territory. I mean, Solo tanked. It's a bomb, and it's not a bad movie.
Right.
It's not a great movie. But it's not a bad. I mean, it freaking has Darth Maul on it or in it at the end. You can't get much more fan service than Darth Maul.
Right.
To the hardcore fans, they still don't care.
No.
They still don't care. So I don't know. I don't know if it does. This could be the most pirated movie ever.
Yarr.
And those movies, those views may not get the money. Do I think this will bomb? No, I don't think this will bomb. I think it will do okay. Sure. I think a lot of people are going to be looking at the first night it comes out and looking for spoilers.
Oh,
and I think if the hardcore fans do hear, okay, this is a redemption. J.J. Abrams actually did it. He actually turned this all around, and even in a way that you wouldn't have expected. In a way that you didn't want, but you still got it in a great way. Then I think they will come out and they will go and they will do their usual 5 to 10, no joking, 5 to 10 viewings of a Star Wars movie. They'll do that again, but I don't think they'll do it right away.
Fair enough. No, it's fair enough. If there's a way to look at that, I think objectively. We are in unknown territory. I think especially because there's so much that's happened with Star Wars outside of what you're just seeing in the films. It's all the side talk. It's all the side chatter. It's all the excess. We've heard and everything else has surrounded it. I think that's been part of this whole fan backlash. So
now before we move forward here, I just want to tell them that we will be talking about the news that came out for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order near the end of the show.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that, and that might be a little bit of a deja vu from the conversation we just had.
Yeah. But it ties in all this, and it came out and at least the announcement we had around the same time. So we're talking about. We'll be back to that once we get down to the gaming section and all that good stuff. Before that, though, before we go back into the rest of the, I was going to say Star Wars stuff we had, because there is still a bit more we want to cover before we hit the gaming stuff. There's something else Disney-wise I want to talk about, and another trailer on the side of that. That trailer is The Lion King. Of course, we've been talking about this for a bit. There's been, the rumblings of it, but here it is. The Circle of Life. It's back. Chris, I really don't think you care. But
No, it's funny. It's funny because every time you say the Circle of Life, because you started singing it before we started recording too.
Yeah.
And you see, we've noted this a couple times. I didn't watch the movies when I was a kid. I've still never seen more than 15 minutes of The Lion King.
Wow.
And generally I don't really care. It's not completely true because from someone who was a major in 3D modeling and animation, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, considering what they're able to do now. But every time you start talking about the Circle of Life, what I think about is that South Park episode where Mr. Hanky sings the Circle of Life where everybody turns into poo.
That was a thing?
Yeah, that was a real... You've never seen that?
Never seen that. Link me sometime.
I'm gonna link you right after the show.
All right.
But how animals eat other animals, and they poo, and that turns into grass, and it goes into the ground.
Yeah.
That's the Circle of Life to me. That's so. Yeah, I'll have to show that to you afterwards.
I get it.
So every time you say that and sing it, that's what I think of.
Now I know what you think. I was wondering I was like, there's something behind that he's got, but I didn't know what. But no, like you said, I think just in terms of just the sheer visuals of this, yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah, real sharp what they've done.
Is it? I asked the same question we thought when we talked about the teaser when it came out. Is this live action?
See, that's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, what did they throw like a real monkey in there, and then they just made CGI all around it?
No, I think our definition of that is slowly changing. This might be why films like this are sort of important, and I think in this role, showing that our traditional definition of live action, that is live actors, how far do you go with that when you go into doing things like doing remakes of popular Disney properties? Not Lion King is just the tip of the iceberg for that. There's so many more that could be visited in spots like this. You and Isaac did Jungle Book, right? Like you did.
We did the we did the. Oh jeez. Yes, on the one on Netflix. I can't remember words and names right now. But yes, right. We did.
No, it's sort of odd territory for that. I almost wish there was another flag we could put in that, like another designation, because it's just there's still something weird about saying live action when you still have the heavy CG elements. I don't know, man. In a way it is in a sense that the environments you're trying to base and all that stuff, but at the core of it, not all of that is live. So
right. Blurring of the lines, which is fine. Somebody was going to do a film like that at some point, but yeah, let's get it defined here.
Yeah, sure. But besides
that, it looks fine.
It does. Lion King was a classic. I remember seeing this in theaters when it came out with some of my friends, fam, everybody. Yeah, it was a time. It was a time, man. There was I'm trying to see what else was around Lion King during that point in the 90s. Movie-wise, I don't really remember what else, but I remember the event this was. And heck, I mean, dude, you probably remember during the time Happy Meals, stuff from Burger King, had Lion King promotionals, all that stuff.
I had a Happy Meal yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to have a Happy Meal tonight. I remember.
Yeah.
I think I was still a teenager at the time.
Right.
So when this came out. I mean, I was looking at cars and chicks and comic books. So.
Oh man,
I don't care about no Disney movie.
Not this guy. I was like what, second or third grade, something like that then. So
I was wearing jeans with flannels around my waist. And, yeah, grunge and alternative, and I don't care about no Lion King.
All right, you're the edgy cool guy. All right.
Well, not really everybody wore that then.
Everyone did. Oh, you're right. Last but not least in this short trailer roundup we have here, this was for Anna, and you know what? I couldn't help but think of Tekken when I saw this. I was like, wait.
Really, that's hilarious because I couldn't not think of Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah, I think that's another straight link you can do with this one. I just thought Tekken because there's
But now that you say that, this character definitely seems to be based off of Anna, and
dude,
also with the name.
thank you very much. All you need is Nina. Now I don't know. But no, this has nothing to do with Namco Bandai. It has nothing to do with Tekken. This is, man, how do you want to describe this? Atomic Blonde flip.
I have a couple words for you. Garbage. That's one of them. Rip off.
It's looking. You know what? It's looking like this is positioning itself to sort of be the flip of John Wick.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'll point to Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
But that actually had one of its directors, so
true.
So he gets to rip off his own stuff.
Yeah.
So.
No, he has all the right to. Look, just straight up though about the trailer, I can't say there's anything that just grabs me about this saying I have to see this.
I mean, hot blonde spies and kicking ass and fighting but you know what? I wanted to like this. I really did because it's made by the same guy who made The Professional.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
it's one of my all-time favorite movies. Love that movie. But this just looked so cheap. I think that's the best word. Mm-hmm. It just looked cheap, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because every once in a while you do actually get a movie of substance that just tries to, the people who make the trailers make a really shitty trailer for it.
Right.
And that could have been the case here. Yeah, I don't know. Everything about this is like, no, you look really bad. Yeah. You look really, I want to like you though because but no, I don't. I'm not fine.
Not there.
That's where I'm. Yeah, I wanted to. I really did.
Yeah.
It's like you look like a spoof of everything I've ever liked about spy flicks.
Right. Man. So. Maybe there's more stuff that comes out in trailers, but I just get the feeling that I'm doubting we're gonna see something else here that will pull us in better than like said Atomic Blonde did, or ground we've already seen treaded in movies like John Wick and stuff like that. So more on it, but well, other than that, thanks for bearing with me. I totally cracked up our flow to start.
That's fine.
We're gonna hop back into Disney here, talking a bit about some of the other stuff that went around Investors Day's announcement. So this was based off an article from CNET. Disney officially announced the launch of the Disney Plus streaming service at their Investor Day.
If you don't mind me correcting that, because I left that link there for you in case there was anything more you want to see. This is actually based off a lot of information that Disney released.
Right.
That was one of my sources that I used to gather I've never been able to use this word before. I've been wanting to my whole life. A plethora.
Look at this.
A plethora.
I could have sworn you've used that.
That is way too dignified of sounding word for me to use.
I'm giving you some side eye on that. Not on the show, but
give side eye to Anna.
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right, so yeah, but that's CNET their article was one of the better ones that I found. Okay, I linked that for you though in case you wanted to find out any information because we're there's no way we're talking about everything here. This is a highlight for a lot of okay.
That's a whole lot we got going on here, but yeah, the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service. We've been all about that here in the show, talking about what we may see, what we won't see, all the stuff that's lining up, the stuff that's been happening over at Netflix, the shows that have been canceled, all that. So much of that is pointing right here leading to this. So the official date, the service is going to start November 12th this year. And to kick off, alongside it, you're going to have Star Wars with the first live action series. You're going to have The Mandalorian right alongside it. Now, if you're wondering what that is, this is the Rogue One prequel series.
No.
This is not the prequel series to Rogue One.
No. That's a different one. Sorry, if the
okay, let's roll that back a bit. Roll that back.
No, the Mandalorian's the first live action show that we're getting. It's based several years after Return of the Jedi, based on a bounty hunter that has a Boba Fett-esque helmet, if not the very same helmet.
There we go.
Then that's about all we know about it, other than it's got a really good cast.
Okay.
But that's coming out at launch. That'll be available the same day.
Got you. So as an add-on to that, in addition to that, there's going to be a Rogue One prequel series that's being worked on,
Yes.
that's in development right now, and then the final season of Star Wars Clone Wars, that's still going to hit, it's going to come out, but that's going to be in the service as well too. So if you really, really like Clone Wars, if you've been on board with all of that, here's where you go. And from everything you said, it sounds like this is going to be pretty hard for you to miss.
I'm looking forward to it. They're
Yeah.
touching on an area that I've really wanted to hear about, which is what's happened immediately after the Return of the Jedi. And I know that's not the focal point, but the fact that they're going to be in that world, I'm sure they're going to be touching on what's happened in the Star Wars universe immediately after the Empire fell.
Sure. Good stuff.
And Mandalorians are pretty cool.
Yeah. So besides Star Wars and all the stuff you can look for there, there's going to be some other things that are going to be included on the service, of course, as a result of Disney basically pulling an Infinity Gauntlet and acquiring properties like crazy. Firstly, all 30 seasons of Simpsons are going to be available day one. The service. This is part of the what was the word for that? I think they had a thing like exclusive home of the Simpsons, something like that.
Yeah. So they're really pushing that a lot.
Yeah.
Actually. Funny beats. I mean, it's in reruns all over.
Yeah, I mean Simpsons.
FXX lives. That whole station
True.
lives by the fact that they show 15 hours of The Simpsons every day. So.
Man, I'm trying to see what has the more virulent syndication. What do you think? Simpsons or Seinfeld?
Neither. MASH.
Well, no, I agree. No. Well said. Well said.
For some reason, MASH is still on.
That's crazy.
That show was leaving a little bit before me, but
right.
Yeah, for some reason that thing's still everywhere.
Well, we'll take MASH out of it actually for a minute. I'm actually not too concerned with what's number one. I'm actually looking between Seinfeld and between Simpsons specifically.
I mean, me personally, which would I prefer? Seinfeld all day long.
Yeah.
But it's probably Simpsons. I mean, the damn thing's been on for 30 years.
Yeah.
It was even around before then.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know. You got to give it to Seinfeld, I guess.
Yeah.
Or no, I mean Simpsons. You got to give it to Simpsons.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's
I would personally pick Seinfeld though.
I'm actually with you in the same boat. I'd prefer Seinfeld all day. I mean, Kramer, Costanza. I mean, we could go on and on. That show, man, loved it. So cool. But besides all that, you're gonna have all the Star Wars films are gonna be available on the service within the first year of launch. So when we're running around trying to figure out where your VHS tapes are or your remasters, whatever.
You say that though, sir, but a lot of people are. One of the reasons a lot of people are excited about the Fox the Disney acquisition of the Fox Entertainment stuff is that Fox has had the distributing rights to the original trilogy in their original form.
Right.
And that's a lot of people want to buy those again. So they're excited about that. But not right away though, but people are also surprised that this is happening within the first year because a lot of cable channels still have rights to these movies. So
there you go.
But yeah, they'll have them all in the first year.
Cool. Along with that, all the Disney animated signature films will be available from day one. When I say signature films, I like to put that in quotes. So also, okay, you have all the Pixar animations, all those shorts are going to be available in the first year too, but when we say, the main major films you think back to, that's the catalog. I mean, if you grew up as a Disney kid, you know where I'm going with that.
You grew up like Ian.
Yep. You grew up
like me, you're like whatever.
So, all that stuff.
I had trucks. All right. I had trucks and Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man. You had cartoon movies. I had Looney Tunes. You had Cinderella.
Actually, I had both, which you described. I mean, the whole thing with
maybe that's why you were more well-rounded and I'm just kind of a shit fuck.
Yeah. the whole toys and action figures thing was always like, aside from films, I never remember seeing any like a whole lot of Disney like merc like that. Like when after I saw Beauty and the Beast or something, right? I never saw a whole bunch of merc I'd go out again. I wasn't interested in merc for that. It's just like, all right, it's a thing. But no, man, Hot Wheels, Transformers, Legos.
You know what I did watch that was Disney though, and I loved
what
DuckTales.
Woo!
Yep.
Classic.
Love that. Watch
Classic.
that.
No, I didn't know you were a DuckTales. What about Darkwing Duck?
See, now that was a little after. I mean, that was definitely after because I
It
mean,
was.
you had DuckTales and you had Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, and then there was but Darkwing Duck came along a little after. I was in high school
Fair enough.
when that was around, so I didn't I didn't really care so much.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck was in reverse for me. I played the NES game first, and then I watched the cartoon.
Yeah.
So,
Figure out which one was canon.
yeah. It's
Get
kind
your Darkwing Duck canon going.
of stumbling around them both. So, no, man. But yeah, all that stuff, that's all going to be there. And hey, what Disney service would be complete without Marvel and the stuff we have, the MCU? We've got Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, and Wanda/Vision. All of them, they're confirmed. They're going to be coming to the streaming service as the first Marvel Studio produced TV shows. That's exciting.
So I just want to say that's not a typo on my part. It's actually called WandaVision.
It sounds like a weird like TV
Isn't that a horrible
brand.
name?
Yeah, WandaVision.
Well, it's actually that's what they've announced it as. WandaVision. It's going to be Wanda and Vision.
That's crazy. Serious.
Yeah.
Nuts, man.
The actors will be reprising the role to continue. That's great. I'm sorry. Most of the time, if you find spelling errors in the notes, it's usually accurate. That's actually not one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's actually called
WandaVision.
WandaVision. Yeah.
Weird.
Isn't that dumb?
Oh. But hey, we talked about this all during the Netflix run. You're finally going to have that literal application from movie to streaming service here. With keeping in continuity too. I'm stoked about that. I think this is going to personally. I think this is going to do a lot to sell this service based off of that alone.
No, it's the biggest reason I'm getting it.
Oh yeah.
It's a big difference because these are the first shows that are going to be done by Marvel Studios.
Right.
In the case of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in the case of the Netflix shows, these were all produced by different companies, be it ABC, be it Netflix for Daredevil or whatever. The MCU, these TV shows in the MCU are being produced by Marvel Studios, the same people that are making the movies. Kevin Feige is heading these. So, yeah, and they're all based off of characters from the movies.
Good stuff.
So,
good stuff.
yeah, they're legit. They don't
like
have
it.
to. They don't have to mention the Hulk in the show by saying the Green Guy,
The green.
or they don't have to like. They don't have to nudge to Captain America by saying the guy with the shield.
Yeah.
They don't have to talk about what happened in Avengers 1 by saying the incident in New York.
Oh.
They can actually say, yeah, the time the aliens came through the hole in space and time and attacked New York City, and Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk and Thor fought them. They can say that.
Thank God. Thank God. All the tiptoeing around that has just kept me just right edge of my seat. Just say it.
They didn't have to be coy about it either. Netflix did that because they didn't want to give them too much credit.
Right.
They could have said, whatever they wanted.
Easy. And depending where they base stuff in time, if you're wondering what happened with the Thanos snap or something else, oh yeah, we'll talk about that. So love it. Besides all that cool stuff, there was a brand new show that got announced alongside all of this. There's a mini series for Hawkeye. This is going to be the jumping off point for Clint Barton to hand the Hawkeye title over to Kate Bishop. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, we mentioned in that Avengers Endgame trailer that I thought that looked like that could possibly be Kate Bishop that he's with as she's shooting the arrow into the target in the tree.
Called it.
So I think that's probably what that is, and then we're gonna watch her turn to dust.
It's rough, man.
Along with his whole family, who I'm pretty sure you see in the background there.
Yep. Oh, that's gonna be such a rough scene.
I'm betting that's how the movie opens.
That would be such a good opening.
It would, because everyone's like, "Where's Hawkeye?" Yeah, he went and turned all Batman on you because he lost his whole family and Robin.
Yeah, that would kind of give anyone a good reason to, to fit that in a flashback like that, because everything else we're going to have going on here, that pacing wise, boy, that would line up so good. I hope. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. We'll see in a few weeks. So
Less than 2.
less than 2. Less than 2.
We'll still be in Endgame Afterglow at this point.
Oh yeah. And you'll have your you probably still have your popcorn buckets over your ears.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna because I got a trip I'm going to the next day. I'm one of my nephew is what do they call it? It's a church thing. I forget.
Confirmation?
Yes, he's being confirmed.
Anyway.
Confirmation. I'm totally going to his confirmation with the popcorn buckets on my ear.
Still celebrating Avengers.
That's right. Like, Dave, I'm excited for you, but this isn't for you. I just saw Avengers last night. That's why I'm doing this, but that's all right. Keep going. Congrats.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Alongside all of that, the first episode of the animated What If series got announced too, such as what if Peggy Carter had become Captain America instead. This is going to be fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, this is really cool. It's kind of like, it almost reminds me of what DC do with like stuff like, the Flashpoint paradox and things like that. But
it's very much like that.
For sure, like just in Marvel style. It's going to be really fun. So, and last but not least, the Marvel 616 is going to be a documentary series focused on the cultural effects the Marvel comic universe has had and vice versa. So basically how our culture has affected comics and how comics has affected our culture. That sounds awesome.
I didn't even know they were doing that. So when I was reading through the notes, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for that now.
Same. I mean, there's a lot that can be said about that. I think you can... I think the Ultimate series, especially from the stuff I've read, seems to reflect a whole lot of things about culture, the way we change today, things that are happening, what's going on. The Ultimate Spider-Man alone had countless little pokes and references to things actually happening in world events, and stuff like that. What was in fact? There was a Spider-Man issue that President Obama was in. At one point.
Was there really?
Yeah, it was crazy. He was on the cover of that one too, if I remember right. So, but it's nuts. It's a thing. I think you could make a really cool show on that. I'd love to hear it. And you could, heck, I know just for Spidey alone, you could probably even start talking about characters like Miles Morales and everything. Yeah, there's a lot to be said.
They don't normally cross the streams that far.
They don't
in the comics. I know it was a big deal with 9/11. They did a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
obviously because that happened in New York, and that is not only that's the central hub for Marvel, and most of it's superheroes. They don't have Metropolis or Gotham. They use real cities. So they did a lot of stuff at that point. But I didn't know they did a thing for Obama. That's all right.
That was fun. Just now, quick caveat note. I mean, when you're talking about MCU, of course, you want to ask, hey, where are the films? The mainline movies. Now, some of the movies are going to be available with this service at launch, but not all of them.
So, it's going to take them a long time to wrangle those up. Those are in circulation on other channels.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't take much to even find them in passing to just go through your cable channels and see Winter Soldier on one of several different stations.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. I mean, even
it's
now...
it's going to be a platform, I think.
Yeah, one of the things I always liked about, about Netflix is that you can just watch some stuff in passing. Hey, Thor Ragnarok? Yeah, let me go watch that. That's one of the cool, I think, reasons for having a streaming service, just to be able to, pop that kind of stuff on whenever you want. But yeah, it's going to be like herding cats. I guess, they'll all convene at some point, but yeah, it's not going to be any time immediately. So lots of cool Marvel stuff. You got a whole lot alongside just the classic Disney line, Star Wars. So there's a lot of pieces coming in place here. But wait, there's more.
There's so much more.
There's still more. There's also a live action Sword in the Stone and a Lady and the Tramp. Those are going to be on the way, and they're going to be released for the Disney service exclusively. Now, fun fact, I have never seen Lady and the Tramp all the way through.
It's two dogs kissing each other for spaghetti.
I saw that scene.
Everybody
saw that scene. And then, but that's it, man. I can't say much about that one. Sword in the Stone, though, I do know that one. So
that's funny because that is one of the few Disney movies I have watched, and I like Sword in the Stone, and I did not know they were doing that. So yay! Ironically, the director for this movie, the live-action version of Sword and Sword, I love it when Disney does this stuff because it's hilarious. The director for 28 Weeks Later, the zombie horror flick that came out in the early 2000s, sure, have him direct a kids movie.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So I mean, that alone would have had me on it. But
yeah.
It's but that's one of the few I have watched.
Good
so
stuff.
yeah, I will be watching that.
Good stuff. What about you? You haven't seen Monsters Inc., have you?
No,
Pixar
no,
stuff.
and even though there's a higher chance because it is a Pixar flick, but no.
Right. Okay. I had fun with that one. Solid. There's going to be a cartoon for that's going to be released exclusively on this service too. Also, now this one made me smile. You pointed this out to me. So if you've seen the Toy Story 4 trailer, you've had all the hubbub about Forky and all that stuff. Well, Forky is actually going to get a 10-episode run called Forky Ask a Question.
Yeah. So he's gonna ask like what love is or something like that, and so they'll have a short. It's like a fun info series for kids.
It's great. It's great.
But it's Forky. I like Forky already. Forky's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
So, but he's a piece of crap that a kid loves. So you gotta. I mean, you get aw.
I think the best part is how self-conscious he is about it. It's just like, why am I a toy? Like, I shouldn't be a toy.
I'm for chili.
Yeah.
I'm for then to be thrown away.
Yeah. It's going to be great. So, there's also a little something here. By the way, I can't hear this name without thinking of Grandmaster now. I'm sorry. We're going to have The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It's going to be a documentary series focused on things we love, like ice cream or sneakers.
And that's a quote.
That's a quote. This is also going to be available at launch. Can he please just do this in the Grandmaster get up?
You know what? Here's the thing. Which would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I wish it was about. I actually hope that this gets into some real, nuts and bolts and how these things that we love in the world work. Because Jeff Goldblum is already fluff.
Right.
Just his, his demeanor it's already 50% fluff.
Yeah. It is.
So, I don't know how that's going to work with too much fluff. It's like, hey, here's how they make gummy bears. I don't know if I could deal with 30 to 40 minutes of Jeff Goldblum talking about gummy bears.
Sure.
I mean, if you really get into the science of it, then maybe. But, because I love Jeff Goldblum. He's been around ever since I could remember. For me, I mean, The
Right.
Fly, dude. The Fly. I mean, you talking about Grandmaster, which is true. I think of The Fly. So
That's going way back. I also think of Ian Freeze. But
what's that from?
Jurassic Park.
That's right. Yeah, so many things for that as well. But I mean, again, dude, going back to when I was 4 years old, sitting there eating my peanut butter toast, watching Jeff Goldblum get turned into a fly, scared the shit out of me.
Oh man. Classic.
So yeah, I mean, I love Jeff Goldblum, but I can't, I
Right.
can't take too much fluff of him.
So, you know what? And if you're not exhausted from all that we just ran through, on top of all that, there's a Muppets reboot. That's on the way too.
You gotta have that hard reboot with the Muppets. I mean, you gotta reset the canon.
Right. Because the timeline's tangled. Nothing makes sense now.
As a kid, I never did understand, and I still don't understand. I mean, Kermit's part of the Muppets, but he was also on Sesame Street.
Yep.
And but nobody else. How is he able to jump into these different universes?
Yeah. Continuity, crossover problems.
Right. There's a problem with the canon here. No, but seriously, as a kid, I'm like, why can he do that?
Yeah. Why is he allowed? Yeah.
Why don't I see Fozzie Bear with Oscar the Grouch?
Oh man.
Because I always thought that'd be awesome to see all of them.
No, it would. I remember the first time, I saw the whole thing with Kermit, and I was thinking, well, okay, maybe this is all one thing. Maybe you're gonna,
It's
see everybody
confusing,
together.
isn't it?
It is.
See,
It is.
noticed it too as a kid.
I get it, yeah, because I thought as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, everybody's like in the same pool, all right, but
Right. Why am I not seeing Beaker with Bert?
Oh man. So there's random stuff like that, but look, this is pretty cool. I'm just kind of looking at Netflix and Disney side by side. You know what? If Netflix became the home for stuff like Love, Death, and Robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if that's where I'm going to turn for my heavy metal style alternative stuff, and then you got the Disney service of the MCU. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get there's all that stuff you get on top of MCU, of course, but man, I'm fine.
Wait, Ian, there's more.
There's still more.
There is actually so much more. Like we don't cover musical stuff on this
No,
channel.
no.
And like there's high school musicals getting a show. Who cares? Whatever. No, but seriously, yeah, Ian, there's more. You get all that we just talked about there and more for the low price of $6.99 a month.
It's always 99. It's always
Isn't
99.
that nuts?
That's crazy.
Or you can do an annual for I think it's $69.99.
There you
basically
go.
save yourself 2 months.
There you go.
$6.99.
Wow.
Your Star Wars, your MCU, well, that's enough for me right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everything else. I mean, what you're probably not going to find here because they've said there will be no adult content on this. You won't find Aliens. You
Right.
won't find Predator. You won't find The Fly, which I'm sure they own. I don't even have to check. I'm sure they own it now.
Right.
You won't find that on Disney Plus. This is. Maybe they'll change at some point, but the plan is that this will not have any adult-oriented. You'll see nothing past PG-13 on here. But, I mean, given everything we just listed, you're still going to find 10,000 awesome things.
Yep.
I don't want to love Disney, but God, they make it so hard not to.
They do. It's a good deal, man. I mean,
$6.99 it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I'll be on there day one watching The Mandalorian.
awesome. So, plenty to look forward here. But hey, you folks out there, any of you guys you plan on tuning into Disney? Anything here you love? Something else you're looking for? Maybe it might not come out. Hey, we want to hear from you. Post up down in the comment section below. That'd be awesome if you could. Speaking of MCU, unless you've been under a rock, there's something really important's happening. Less than 2 weeks, like we've been talking about, Avengers Endgame. But hey,
That's right. There's a movie.
yeah, kind of. Like, I'd even call this more than a movie. This is a film event. 22 movies. Like, leading up to this point, but
No, this is the 22nd.
This is the 22nd. 21 movies leading up to this point, with this being the 22nd. The press tour for this, all the pre-fluff and all that, this stuff's been in full swing. Any of you, especially on Instagram, check that out. It's just been really funny between Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and everyone else with all the different promotions that are going on. In fact, I know part of this whole tour, they've had a different charity drives. Like Mark Ruffalo has a separate one, Chris Evans does, so on and so forth. And they all go to a good cause and stuff like that. But whoever wins, you get a Unifriend, get to go to the premiere over in the West Coast for Avengers. You get VIP access, all that good stuff. But
you get to touch Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, that's creepy.
not, I mean, even if it's just like a poke on the shoulder.
Oh man, I think
I'm in then.
I don't think she's running one. I saw okay, Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, I'm pretty sure Hemsworth's got one too. There were like four. It was like four of the main MCU cast that we're seeing. There's been a whole you've had a lot of little small cuts, all kinds of like that stuff, released during this, little trailers and stuff. We got another 1-minute clip from the film that got released here, and also on Jimmy Kimmel, there was a really fun Avengers cast read as Thanos' children. Book.
That was the best.
Yeah, that was good. That was great.
I had to watch it 3 times. I was laughing so hard. They did a nice little shtick there where they're kind of commenting, we're the actors, but at the same time, we're kind of sticking up for what happened. They give Thor crap for not aiming for the head, and they talk,
Yeah.
they talk, but they give Hulk some crap too, don't they?
Yeah.
Did you notice that, I can't remember his name right now, the actor who plays War Machine got it wrong when he said that he didn't get to go to Wakanda?
Yeah. That instantly kind of made me, like 10
Yeah, that
hours
was kind of weird. I was like, are you sure?
It's like, no, you were...
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, in fact, you were pretty important when the whole raid started. Like, the whole carpet bomb.
You were there when half of the people left. You were still there.
So don't act like you weren't there, man. Oh man, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he meant that, I guess, in the form of like, you know, didn't have the kind of access that Cap did. Didn't get to go there early, stuff like that.
I think he just forgot.
Yeah,
I think he's just a forgetful actor. But it is a sore note in this funny, hilarious thing. It's like, because it does, it takes you out of the whole thing.
It does.
It's just like, you were there, buddy. All right.
I you know what? I think in that the whole documentary, I really think that this, which you have happening here, Jimmy Kimmel and everything, this is going to be a focal point of the intersection we've had with the MCU films and culture, and vice versa. You know, people have just loved this. I think the fun and the form that's going along with it. Dude, for goodness sake, NASA got in on it.
Yeah.
With Tony Stark, the whole, you know, how are we going to bring Stark back and everything like that. You know, people have genuine fun with this, and it's become, I think, more than a film in that, you know, it's culturally the way we relate to that, the way the MCU has been embraced is sort of like, we're passerbys, this is happening in real time. We just have fun with it. We just go with it, and I've loved that. I've loved to watch all the different forms of it. So
we've been, you know, we talked about Star Wars. We're going to talk about it here again in a little bit. This is your modern day Star Wars.
It is.
You know, everyone's wondering, when's there going to be a franchise that's going to be that big? I think you could even debate that it's bigger.
Yeah.
And and as long as they don't bring back Captain America 30 years later and have him drinking alien space milk and make him a big quitter, they'll be okay for another 30.
Oh no, right on. That needs to be framed on a wall. That was good. We had a note here from Kevin Feige, now talking about crossovers and stuff like that, that we're not going to see the X-Men in MCU for a very long time.
Quotes. Very
yes.
long time.
This is from a recent interview. He got asked the big question about X-Men, the MCU, and I just want to read a little bit from that excerpt. This is a quote. "It'll be a while. It's all just beginning in the 5-year plan that we've been working on. We were working on before any of that was set. So really it's much more for us, less about specifics of when and where the X-Men will appear right now, and more just the comfort factor and how nice it is that they're home, that they're all back, but it will be a very long time." They are home.
Yeah.
They are home. You know what? And I'm fine with that.
Give them a rest.
They need, old man Logan needs a rest.
They all need a rest. Hell, we're still going to see them in a couple months.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
It's nuts, man. I mean, it should tell you how much of a sign that X-Men, they're just tired, they need a break, that we're rounding the Dark Phoenix bin for the second time. Like, that's pretty full circle. I mean, the Phoenix Saga was a big deal, you know, in the animated series, in the comics, and when that stuff happened. But if you've gone around, you cycled enough times to actually hit that arc twice, oh, good Lord, just let's take a break. Take a break.
No, you please do.
Yeah.
I do want to note there that, and I actually didn't realize, I saw it in social media somewhere that was commenting on these comments. He's talking about X-Men.
Yeah.
In no part did he say anything about Fantastic Four.
That's actually a really astute point.
So we could still be seeing them within the first 5 years or so, or in the next 5 years, I should say.
True.
He didn't say anything there. I cannot imagine the geek out if they just kind of snuck Doctor Doom in somewhere in the next 5 years.
Right.
Oh my God.
And it's Marvel's style to pull that, man.
And even if he wasn't in the full suit or something, but it's like at the end of a movie or in one of the after credit scenes or something, you just see Victor Van Doom like cross through, or like, and it gets introduced to somebody.
I love it.
I would freak out. You know, keep Professor Xavier and Wolverine. Give them a good rest, because they've not only been run hard, and they've not been treated well.
No, they have.
So give them a good break, and take the next 5 years to figure out your ginormous multimedia platform plan to extend your most successful movie franchise ever, and how you're going to do that with 50 more characters. What am I talking? 100 more characters, and how you're gonna do it in games and shorts on the internet and TV shows and movies and lunch boxes and stickers and all. Take your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take your time. Get it right. You know, even if Disney has to go to the point now of starting genetic engineering to, I laugh, but you laugh, but maybe they do. To make sure that they've got their actors and actresses just right to play these roles.
Yeah.
Maybe they make mutants. Maybe they just like no CG needed.
We got it.
We genetically altered that kid to be able to turn his skin to metal. So he's good.
And Colossus for the next 30 years. Oh, gosh, nuts, man. But no, I agree. This is right in line with, I think, the very thing that has part of what's made the MCU so successful in the first place. It's because there's always been a plan on the board. There's always careful planning with this. I think any of these franchises have never just been, tossed in the blender and then, see what happens. See what you get. It's all been crafted. It's all been calculated. I can't wait to see what they'll do with it. And I'm right with Kevin here. I'm glad they're home. So,
yeah,
awesome. Cool. That is the end of our film/show/everything Disney roundup. I want to spin over to just a bit here on gaming. We're right back into Star Wars now. Like we said earlier on in the show, there's a little something else that was tagged on to a recent event that came out. We got to highlight this. This is Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order. This got its reveal. This is published by EA, and was there a second publisher on this? Or was
it's made by Respawn. It's published by EA.
There we go. Made by Respawn.
Who is basically Respawn is one of their many. They're one of their many acquisitions that they've assimilated through their trips as the Borg.
The Borg. I just see you're going. Love it. Resistance was futile, though. Oh well. But something glaring about this trailer. We didn't get any gameplay shown, but
oh, you ruined my joke. I was going to say I was on the fence about this game until I saw the gameplay footage.
That didn't exist,
but it doesn't exist. Because when I think I can't wait to play a game, I think about not using the controller and just watching a cutscene.
Yeah, let's just watch.
That's what I look forward to in my games.
I mean, that's what you played all the later Metal Gear games for, right? I mean,
well, I didn't play those. You did.
Yeah.
But
one and two.
Oh, I thought you okay. I mean, it looks cool. Again, there's no gameplay. What can I really talk about? It comes out November 15th, 3 days after The Mandalorian does.
Yep.
If you're sick of Star Wars right now, oh boy, you need to tune out starting November.
Yeah.
Because it's Star Wars until the new year.
Oh yeah.
And beyond. I mean this trailer looks fine. It looks good.
Sure.
I like that this is taking place in such a sidestep from the main story, but they are at least waist deep in lore, in canon.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that.
That's the thing I wanted to focus on about this, and I was going to actually ask a little bit about you're actually playing as an ex-Padawan.
No. It's my understanding that it's an actual Jedi Knight.
Really? I kept reading Padawan.
That's okay. Well, we'll have to see. I was reading that he was a young Jedi Knight.
Huh? Isn't that a Padawan?
No.
Padawan's a trainee, right?
Yes. The Jedi Knight is actually the one step below a master.
Right. I mean, you see him using Force abilities like in this, already. I mean, there's a couple of really cool moments with that. But the idea is pretty simply here: the Jedi Order's fallen, and you play as someone who's you're trying to hide your Force sensitivity, trying to hide your Jedi abilities and everything like that because they're being hunted, exterminated. If I remember right in that trailer, there were some shades of Order 66. Well,
it takes place like right after Order 66.
Right. So a really, really cool point in canon, I think, to actually drop things and have a side story. That's awesome. I was telling Chris before the show, the last Star Wars game I played was Shadows of the Empire back on Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
So,
but that's way cooler because the last game I played was Battlefront 2.
yeah, it's still
So you're cooler than me.
disaster.
You know what? I give it shit, and deservingly, and anybody who does, and anyone who bought it then deserves, they have every right to. But I actually hear it's a pretty good game now. Now that,
It
once
improved
EA
enough,
left,
really?
yeah, once EA left it alone to let DICE do their thing, I guess it turned into a pretty decent game.
Huh.
I haven't played it again. I'm not willing to, like, give it I think it's legitimately 300 gigs of space that it wants, because I got a bunch of other games going. But yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts what that thing wants. But anyways, it was garbage when it came out, though.
There you go. So,
But
yeah.
that's the last one I played.
But no, hey, dude, kudos for, you went for it. You went all out. In fact, I know you were talking about, was it your nephew? That was,
Oh yeah, he was supposed to play too, and then he was playing. I played the game called, you heard of Fortnite? Oh,
Fortnite.
he's still playing Fortnite.
He's gonna be playing for a
Still
while.
plays.
He's Fortnite. Fortnite isn't slowing down. It's not.
Which is fine. Play Fortnite, but he doesn't play anything else. It's like when he's over here for Thanksgiving, like, look at the Spider-Man game. Not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite.
Look at Soul Calibur 6, man. Not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite. They got him, man. They got him. They got him.
They did.
Bummer. But yeah, this is going to be for I believe PS4, PC, and Xbone, right?
Maybe even Switch. What I found said PC and consoles.
Okay.
So
We know it's gonna get a multi release or whatever too. Yeah, cool. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Star Wars could, I think, use a real solid game off the bat.
yes, they could.
Yeah.
Yes, they could. It's supposed to be heavy on the melee, so heavy on the lightsabers and force powers and stuff. One of the main bad guys here is the second sister from the Sith Inquisitors. That's also really cool.
Cool.
I mean, they're using stuff like that. Yeah, show me some gameplay.
Nice.
What I saw was neat. Give me some gameplay. I need gameplay. Oh, they have specifically said no multiplayer, no microtransactions.
Good.
So yeah, now give me gameplay. If you have solid gameplay, I'll probably buy this. And depending on what's going on at the time, we may do a let's play.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to find out release dates for Doom Eternal and The Last of Us Part 2. And until I know that, I make no promises past Mortal Kombat.
Fair enough.
Yes, those are some big ass games.
Oh yeah. Not
You, on the other hand, you've got some clean slate. You got some clear slate
coming
up there.
Coming up.
So-
I will. I gotta. I'm gonna see what I need to book up with. I was honestly hoping to have more of my time filled with Anthem. To be honest, the stuff that's happening. But that's,
that left you a big open spot, didn't it?
golly. Didn't expect that.
Why don't you, next time you're in game, why don't you just, talk to some people and see what they think? You can't.
Here's the thing.
'Cause you-
Here's the thing. I could set it to where I could probably start yakking, but the question is, would they even reply? Because see, like they actually got to know how to do that. It's pretty simple to enable your mic and have that set up, but they don't even know how many people actually even bother with that, man. So
No.
Nah.
Let me ask you this. Well, I mean, Anthem is a topic for another day, but
Sure.
is it noticeable in game? Like how few people there are now? Or let me not even say how few people. Is it noticeable that the amount of people playing has dropped considerably from launch to now?
I say no, for two reasons. One is the matchmaking isn't slow to a crawl. The other reason I say that is because two of the natural design of the game. You got to bear in mind this is 4 players tops per game, kind of like almost a la, Diablo 3, sort of limiting the amount of players you have per game. So I think those factors really give you less of a look at what's happening. Even the sort of hub you can go into before like pre-launching missions where you'll see some javelins, people running around and going to shops and stuff like that. That isn't even a very good indicator because I can tell you, man, most people, myself included, don't even go to that hangar. Most of it is just going back to Fort Tarsus in the meantime if you're going to actually go and refresh your missions, get new stuff, maybe catch up on some NPC dialogue, all that stuff. So to be honest, I have not felt that when I log in game to, go do some hunting and stuff. I think the biggest sign for me would be if I hit a ridiculous, slowdown, just I can't, public, match make. I'm having problems getting, a 4-man game. So, haven't seen it yet. But we'll see. And then you pointed at this the other day. The price. I think the price is still holding pretty steady. So still up at 60. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. Other than that, besides Star Wars and all that other stuff, there's a few rumors floating around that I want to look at. No, I'm always careful with this stuff. I don't like to take too much stock in it, but it's when I look at where they come from and then the stuff that we already have. I'm all for it. Now, firstly, this is all involving the Switch. First game I want to look at is Persona 5. This was actually a little bit of a slip that happened from Best Buy, maybe leaking some details here. So Persona 5 is already a thing. It's already a game. It's already out. But what people didn't know about it, this was actually going to have a Switch port for it, which is now we're already expecting an announcement to sort of like an extension of Persona 5 at the end of this month anyway. And so there's been a rumor that this was going to have a Switch port. It might happen. It might, but it it looks like Best Buy sort of all but confirmed this. There's a couple other things alongside it that I thought were kind of little juicy things too. A Metroid Prime trilogy, and also
whoa! I'm sorry.
What?
A Metroid Prime trilogy?
Yeah.
Explain.
Okay, have you played
no. If you're gonna ask me about any Metroid game, I haven't played any since the first one.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have.
But I've been wanting to get into Metroid.
You should. Okay, real quick. I know you're on emulators. You need to check out Super Metroid.
Well, I mean, I've checked out Super Metroid, but when I say played, I mean have spent substantial time.
I see. I see what you mean. Yeah. SM is one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah. So the Metroid Prime itself, if you owned a Wii, or you remember, back then and all that good stuff, there was always already a place to get this, but it's rumored that the Prime trilogy itself is going to be coming over for a Nintendo Switch ready release, and people have been looking out to see it. Well, is this ever going to get a Metroid Prime 4?
You hear rumors, even I hear rumors about that.
Oh yeah. Stuff's always been out there, but as far as what we're actually going to see ported and redone and stuff like that, looks like little slips. And we've had rumors circulating all year, for the re-release and that kind of stuff. So, interesting point too that goes along with this around the whole Metroid Prime thing. There was an article over at Reset Era where there were some notes about Metroid Prime 4's development. As far as what's happening with it and all that good stuff is probably going to alter Nintendo's schedule a little bit for their pipeline and everything else that's coming out. So I think we're going to be hearing a whole lot more for this. I'm excited because Metroid is just a dope series, period. I didn't have the Wii or the GameCube for any of those. It kind of sucks that I missed them. But man, if you do end up getting that Switch, Chris, and if you do see a brand new Metroid game hit, you got to check it out.
It's tickling me. It is. We'll see. So let me ask you.
Yeah.
No novice here on the whole Metroid thing. So is the trilogy Metroid, Super Metroid, and the Metroid Prime? Is that the trilogy, or are we talking about completely different games?
Different games. So Super Metroid is on its own. I don't think Nintendo have had any plans to remake that one for years, but the Metroid Prime saga itself is sort of its own thing.
Okay, so there's 3 Metroid Primes.
Yep.
Okay.
So
all right.
Just to have those out there, but
I get you.
Lastly, along with those, we've already seen some stuff earlier this year for the. In fact, this was on one of our shows a while back for the next A Link to the Past remake for Zelda. There's supposed to be, besides that, there's some rumbles of a new Zelda game, but again, there's just been all kinds of little weird, stuff by Best Buy and the dates. So if I were you, I wouldn't stick too close to saying, hey, we know this is going to be the release date and stuff like that. But I always do kind of chuckle when this stuff, actually surfaces or where
So,
we see domains.
so what Ian is telling you is that you can take to heart that there's definitely going to be a new Metroid trilogy. And a new Zelda game is coming out next month. No, I'm joking.
I know.
No, but for the Zelda game, are they talking like about a new proper Zelda, or are they talking like another remake?
Most of the news for Zelda has been surrounding the
This just came out.
It did. The Link to the Past thing.
Well, yeah, but it was what was the last one that just came out? That launched with the Switch, basically.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, that just came out like within the last 2 years.
Right.
I would be surprised that Nintendo would have a turnaround that quickly.
Yeah.
They take time.
They take their sweet time. I honestly think that the ones that would be enough would be if you had your early release that came out with Switch. You have the remake of Link to the Past, and that's fine for a bit.
Yeah.
Nothing else comes out along with it. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Neither one of us have a Switch yet. That might change.
Chill your jets. You'll get your Zelda.
It's coming. It's happening.
Get your Zelda. You gotta play your Jedi Fallen Order first. Whether you like to or not. Did you like the trailer? Then EA says you gotta buy the game.
Yeah,
that was the admission for the trailer.
Eat your vegetables first.
Yep. Eat your Star Wars first.
Oh man. Rounding off our gaming news, this is something that kind of came out of left field from a studio that I'm not familiar with at all. Shift Up Games had their announcement trailer for Project Eve, which looks like the little sister to Nier Automata from Square Enix. It's honestly hard to go to a convention or anything these days without seeing someone as a blindfolded 2B. She showed up in Soul Calibur, and we've seen this everywhere. In fact, it's going to show up in FF14 soon, the expansion, so it's kind of like we can't get away from it. But in all seriousness, look, this game doesn't seem like it has anything to do Nier Automata. Square is not even developing this or anything, but this is going to be coming out sometime this year on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It's supposed to be an action game. I can't really say we even got really much clear gameplay.
I think the only thing I could say from it when you showed me this trailer was, what the hell is this?
Yeah, yeah. I was just kind of like, wait, what? Like,
I mean, all I'm seeing is like dystopia and butt.
That's it. There it is. That's
I'm not, and I'm a little, no one would say that I'm not a vulgar person. I definitely like my vulgar words. I choose them wisely. But I mean, seriously, it's like dystopia and chick in skin tight shiny butt suit.
That's it. No, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, it's really hard for me to even make something substantial out of this because So not too really too sure where this one came from. Especially something random like this, I would expect to wait just a little more down the pipe for E3. Maybe one of those games you hear about on the side, or that comes. But okay, pre-E3 stuff, I guess.
2 months, man.
2 months. So
yeah. 2 months until the last E3. That would be nice.
Yeah, it would, right?
More and more relevant every year.
Yeah, less.
I would. I've said it many times. I would love E3 if they would have kept their doors shut and just it'd be a press event talking about games and developers. Oh my God, novel concept.
Keeping it as a press event, I think does a lot for it, man. I mean, we've got so many conventions and everything else these days where you can go, show floor engagement and all that stuff. Look, that's there. I love the idea of press events because you can stay on target. You can stick on task, use it for just a news roll, just a gigantic news roll. I'd be totally cool with that. So, oh well. I guess they're keeping doors open this year. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
because they're making money off.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh well.
They just made that decision to open the doors again in the last 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was recent.
Yeah. They shut the doors on it. They're like, hey, we're going back to our roots. We're going to be a big media event talking about games and developers, and yay. Sorry, G4. That means that your channel's going to have to shut down, but yay for everything else.
Wow.
But then they're like, hey, we're going to open the doors back again, and all the cosplayers come on in, which is fine. I love cosplayers.
Sure.
It's just muddying up the event.
Right on.
All right, I'm sorry, completely off topic.
No, man. I like, dude. I'm starting to get the E3 vibe. I there's always something you're waiting for, always something you're waiting to see followed up. Even though even though it sucks, man. You can't even trust a lot of the trailers coming out of E3 fully. A lot of the times these are running on rigs that are just E3 only. There's some stuff I want to see followed up though. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh God.
I'm curious. I'm curious about that because that made a big splash last time, and I want to see if there's anything more on that, or if it's
Is that the one with Norman Reedus?
No.
No, okay, that's what I'm thinking about.
This is the one that's like the feudal period, like period piece of samurai game, and it had this it had just some incredible backgrounds. Like the way it was set up was just like the old school samurai like showdown films and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
I was really digging the aesthetic, and I'm like, is this going to be like actual gameplay? We did get to see some gameplay, but I want to see him build on that. So that game and some other stuff I really want to see followed up. No, the one with Redis, what is that? I don't remember the name for that. No, I could care less.
Yeah, I can too. Hey, by the way, I want to backtrack here real quick because you'd mentioned something that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because you'd made the comment about not being able to even trust the trailers that are coming out of E3, and infamous for that is, of course, Anthem.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
The trailer that came out for Anthem, and the last one, was it the last one? Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was a 2017 trailer that came out at E3. I mean, there's your perfect example right there. Now, I bring that up because this was something I was going to mention for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The trailer that we got was noted to be all from the in-game engine. That doesn't mean shit. Because that's the same thing we got from Anthem. And that's what ticks me off about EA.
Yeah.
I'm getting my E-hate off kilter here.
It's in the game.
Yeah, it is in the game. Plus a bunch of other particle effects that your system can't handle. But that's what ticks me off about it. Is that here's the EA just releasing a trailer, no gameplay. He's like, the trailer's all made from the in-game engine. Shut up. Somebody just needs to like go up and slap them when they say that. Just like some little kid, and just be all, but just like, it's a nice little kid, little girl, pigtails, lollipop, and just when she gets up there, come here, smack. They're saying something like that.
Oh,
dirty,
man. It is.
It's dirty.
It is. It's just the whole thing about in-game engines and so much of this stuff is it seems, at least when it hits, it's like on the theoretical. Like, especially what's so scary about it these days is like this thing that happened with Anthem. I mean, 2017. I can't highlight that any further, man. It's not like they showed a trailer like that 3 years before the game came out, and then you got the bait and switch. I mean, that literally happened like within a year. So, no, I'm not on board. I'm not on board with it.
When your games are pumping out 4K resolution, you can make anything look good in your in-game engine.
Yep.
Because you're sticking it in the engine for the trailer doesn't mean it's going to be there for the final product.
Right.
And that's literally what they did with Anthem.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cooking the books.
Sorry, just had to remind me of that when you said that you can't even trust the trailers because and the trailer for Fallen Order looks really good.
It does,
but that's not the gameplay.
No,
it's not the gameplay.
Stay smart, stay street smart. And enjoy this stuff. Consume it if it's your favorite series and all that stuff. Get enjoy it. I hope you get hype from it. But just the trailers, beware these days. So, all right. I think it's time for an info minute. Chris, what's the fastest you've ever beaten a Doom level?
I don't know. We're going back 20-some years. Yeah. I don't know. I will be doing a Let's Play for Doom leading up to Doom Eternal, but I have not touched it yet. So it's been, I can't imagine. I don't know.
Sometimes, we poke at this here, we talk about speedrunners and stuff like that. You always look at me, you're like, all right, dude, that's your thing. It's
not my thing. It's not my thing.
It is. I I have a huge fascination with the stuff speedrunners do in the speedrunning community because they're all different between each game. In fact, there's a channel, Games Done Quick, comes on every summer. All kinds of old retro games that are just done stupid fast by people who have devoted ungodly hours to these games to figure out ways to just shortcut and just blow through stuff in ways you never thought. But there was an event that happened as of this year, actually a few months back. This was in February. And this didn't get much press at the time, but I think people are starting to actually kind of look back over their shoulder and, oh, that was a thing. Maybe it's because we're getting closer to Doom Eternal, I don't know. But there was a record from 1998 for the quickest run of Doom, the original Doom game, level 1, which had a record of being beaten in 9 seconds. Again, it's back in 98, so it's 20-year record. It's been held, and it was finally beaten. The record went down to 8 seconds. Now, I gotta highlight a couple of things about this. So, and stuff I didn't know, actually looking into it. When you beat a level on Doom, when you see the end counter, like for time, whatever you hit, it will always take whatever your time was and round it down. So even if you hit 8.93 seconds, it'll count as 8.
Which if I remember from, which was funny because you'd picked this for the info minute. I had actually seen something on this recently. I think the 9-second one was 9.9.
Yeah, it was up there. It was like,
so it was like barely 9,
like 9.9, like 9.91, but it rounds down. And bear in mind, people have been practicing at this run for a long time. Because a lot of people, when that came out, when that first record hit, a lot of people said, "All right, that's it. That's the best you can do. That's the highest it's going to get because of the way stuff's laid out." Now, level 1 of Doom, the original Doom, if you remember Hangar, it's not super densely populated. You mainly go up against, like, there's a couple of zombie shotgun dudes, a couple of zombie machine gun dudes. You got some imps. Nothing heavy. You're not into, like, cyber demon territory yet. Yeah. But there is a part that you come up on. It's probably the thickest part of the level. It's like there's, like, a pool of acid, and there's, like, a zigzag path. You have, like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 enemies in there cut through. So, the issue with this part, though, this is the part that was beating players. So they looked at this and said, all right, that time can't be beaten unless somehow magically, through RNG, all those enemies space out just right for you to slingshot yourself right through them to get through the door and go to the next part. Because, of course, you want to focus on getting through the run as quick as you can, not murdering everything in your path. But through time, through practice, through methods of running and strafe running, people figured it out and kind of slowly but surely mapped this thing out, how to do it and exactly how the run itself was going to work. And look, this stuff is insane. It's down to going through the door at the right time to keep your momentum going. Literally, like if you're there's some games where you can run against a wall and you'll keep your momentum. GoldenEye back on N64 is a perfect example. If you look back on speedruns, that you can see people just running against the wall, waiting for the next objective to come out, and they immediately take off again. Doom punishes you for that. If you're running against a door or whatever, you're going to lose time. So just literally optimizing every single frame of this to get the run frame perfect and to get that record. All these little things just to shave off enough time to get within that 8 zone. And it did. It was still, I believe that was up there right in the 8.9 zone. Of course, that rounds down to 8 seconds with the record itself topped. So for the speedrunning community, it's a huge goal accomplished. For the Doom folks that do this, they're big into it. Funny part is they tend to run less against themselves, and they kind of run it as like a group effort. They basically all jump on and said, all right, is this humanly possible? And basically start sharing info and work with it until one of them gets it. And they did it. This is insane. I'm never going to play Doom like this myself.
Give him a shout out, Ian.
Yeah.
give him a shout out.
Yeah.
No, seriously. What's his name?
Foreshock Blast.
And where was he born?
You got me there, man. You got me there.
Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah.
All right, good on you guys. You're doing something I could never do, and something I would never do, but something I could never do too. So.
Right.
All right.
So. There you have it, and that is going to bring us to the end of another show. So for those of you that have hung with us, thank you so much for tuning in, listening to us once again. Hey, drop a note in the comments below with, hey, any of the stuff you're looking at too, stuff you're hyped for, stuff you're not hyped for, want to hear from you.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to the most with Disney Plus?
Oh, yeah.
What did you like the most about that Star Wars trailer, or what did you hate? we're not on the hate wagon, but we don't mind hearing from you.
Right. And
Speak your mind. Tell us below.
Yeah, love to hear from you. Post up. If you dig what you're hearing, a like helps us a lot. A sub helps us even more. So be sure to mash that button to know when we're going to be dropping the rest of our content. You get notifications and all the cool stuff from our reviews to gaming plays and everything else in between. Until next time, people, that is it. Take it easy. You have a good one. We'll see you again soon. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, or anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.